Beyond the Red House, where we turn trauma into triumph and pain into purpose. I'm Kayla Volturno, author of I Was Once the Girl in the Red House, and I believe in the power of authentic healing stories. This is a space where your voice matters, your story heals, and your journey inspires others to break their own cycles. Whether you're just beginning your healing or years into building your new life, you belong here. Let's explore what it means to move beyond the red houses that hurt us and build the lives we actually deserve. Welcome back to Beyond the Red House. Today, I want to talk about something that's been a constant companion in my healing journey, and that's music. Specifically, how the right lyrics at the right time can make you feel seen in a way that nothing else can. How a song can put words to feelings you didn't know how to express. And how music has this unique ability to both validate your pain and give you hope that you're going to make it through. So, for me, music has been healing even before I started my healing journey. I remember being in my room, 9 years old, listening to Simple Plan Perfect, writing down the lyrics. I actually talk about that in my book, but that is the one song as a kid that it was a constant for me, was Perfect. How much I felt that song. And of course, over the years, I've added plenty of songs to that list. I actually now have a playlist that I love. Every time I find a new song that just resonates with me, I put it in there. But when I started my no contact journey, I felt alone. No one understood. My friends didn't understand. No one understood. And I couldn't find the words to really explain to people why I went no contact and what was going on in my brain. Why it was hard for me on Mother's Day, or why certain occasions were rough for me, especially in the beginning. And I would be driving in my car and a song would come on and suddenly I would just cry because I felt seen. Someone understood me. These artists that I've never met were able to reach into my chest and pull out exactly what I was feeling and put it into music. It's become this safe place where I could feel everything I was trying to hold together in my daily life. It could be angry. There's plenty of songs on my playlist that ranges from all the stages of grief. It could be heartbroken. It could be hope. It could be just a lifeline when you don't feel as if anyone else understands you and you're having a rough day. You just hit play and you just feel the lyrics. And more times than none, you listen to a song that brings you to this mental state where you're just crying because you feel so seen. And that's what makes music so powerful for healing trauma. It gives you permission to feel. When you hear someone singing about pain or anger or grief, it's beautiful, crafted masterpiece. It tells you that your feelings are valid enough to be art, that you're not feeling things that are too much, and there's not something to be ashamed of. You hear your own experience reflected back to you, and suddenly you don't feel crazy for feeling the way you do. You feel seen. Music, it accesses this part of your brain that just talking doesn't. And there's actual science behind this, that music could help you process emotions that you can't put into words. And there's plenty of times I will listen to a song and suddenly understand something about my situation that I couldn't access through journaling or anything else. the melody and the lyrics, they just unlock something. And what's so interesting is throughout my journey with healing, the different stages I've been at, different songs resonate with those stages. And there's times where I'm a huge Swiftie. So let's take Taylor Swift, for example. When Folklore first came out, I didn't feel that album because I wasn't at that point in my healing yet. And now that album has been tremendous with my healing. It just creates this soundtrack for your transformation. And you look back and you remember what songs got you through specific times. Like I said before, Simple Plan Perfect, that was the first song that I sat there and went, wow, they understand me. And so many times, songs, not even just with healing, you could remember songs, good times. Maybe there was a certain song playing in high school when you were, I don't know, at prom that takes you back to that moment. And that's the powerful thing about music. I do want to talk about the different types of songs that have helped me at different stages. So in the beginning, and like I've said plenty of times, I was angry for a very, very long time. I needed songs that were angry, validated my rage, ones that said, you hurt me, that wasn't okay, I'm over this. Music like that. That was very much one of the songs that I say throughout that phase was absolutely my anger song. You might think that's not an anger song, Kayla, but for me, it was so, the way Kelly Clarkson sings Because of You, to me, is angry enough because she just hit every point on the head for me. There's so many different parts of that song that for me, in that angry stage, I was like, yes, this song gets it. She gets me. Really, this song and a lot of other songs, they reminded me that anger was okay. That just because people say anger's a bad emotion, you shouldn't be angry, you should be angry at what happened to you. Absolutely. Anger is not a stage that should be skipped at all. You should be angry. And the thing is how long do you stay angry for? And that was my hardest point for a long time, is I was angry for far too long. But with the anger, I finally allowed myself to feel sad. I had plenty of songs that were about grief, and there's something about different songs that you can turn into your situation. There's a lot of songs that people are like, okay, well, this was written for a relationship, like a romantic relationship. But there's a lot of times that there's songs, if you listen really deeply, you could relate it to your trauma. You could relate it to your situation. And I found that a lot, especially with Taylor Swift songs, because most of her songs were relationship based, but I made it about the heartbreak of losing my parent, essentially, because I went no contact. I essentially lost my mother. The thing is that with the music and being able to feel those things, you have to remember that you're allowed to feel what you want to feel, what you need to feel. And I think that's the most amazing thing about music, is it hits you and you essentially can't stop crying, or you feel that emotion that you're supposed to feel in that moment, how you're supposed to feel at that time. And especially with sadness and grief, because going no contact, it's not a relief, it's a loss. Because going no contact isn't just a relief at the end of the day. And it's essentially a loss. And it took me a long time to put two and two together. That losing my mother, I was allowed to grieve, even though she is still alive. It's when you know that you made the right decision and you're sad because no one wanted to end up in this situation. Who dreams of one day, I'm just going to go no contact? You don't. It's sad. It's a loss. But at the end of the day, that's the right decision and you're still grieving. And those songs, they let me feel that grief without judgment. And after the sadness, I needed songs to be like empowering. I got this. I'm strong. Rise Up by Andra Day is one of the biggest ones that I love, because no matter what, I rise again. And that's always what I'm saying. And there's a mixture you need on your playlist. When you're trying to heal, you can't just stick in that angry and the sadness. You need songs to remind you, I got this. I'm awesome. I can do this. And there's so many songs that could lift you up with that. About being resilient and rising from the ashes and becoming who you were always meant to be. Those songs remind me, still to this day, because like I say all the time, I am not 100% healed, and nor will I ever be. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think you're ever going to be 100% healed. Am I better off now than I was a decade ago? Absolutely. But there's days where I'm feeling a little down and I need a good song. I can do it with a broken heart. Taylor Swift's my newer one that I love to listen to. Like, I got this. I can do this no matter what. But now, when I think of my mother and my situation, there's only one song that comes to mind. And that's Praying from Kesha. I listened to that song on repeat for a long time. I did. Because that's how I feel now. I'm at peace with the situation in the only way that I could be. Yes, there's times where things will come up and it's not as nice to remember, of course, but I no longer feel any type of way towards her. I hope she's fine. I hope she's living her life. That is all I could say. But being able to listen to songs throughout my healing journey and the different types of songs and genres and types of songs, sad, happy, mad, it really helps. Not being able to just to have something that makes you go, okay, wow, this does sound like my situation. I definitely had a lot more angry and sad songs than I did empowerment songs, and I will say that, but I gave myself permission to listen to whatever I felt in that moment. If I needed to listen to an angry playlist for an hour, I'd do it. If I just needed to cry, a really good cry, plenty of songs that do that too. Or when I needed motivation, plenty of songs for that. Or if you know what, I just wanted to dance. I needed to dance my feelings out, plenty of songs for that. Music has been such a healing process for me. Being able to just, sometimes I'm a writer, right? But there's some times that I can't write down what I'm feeling. There's some times where I'm just like, you know what? I'm numb at this moment. I just need a distraction, or I just need something to make me feel something. Music. I've always been a person that really pays attention to lyrics, but during my healing process, I became hyper focused on lyrics and really listening to them in a different way. Trying songs that I've heard before, and I'm like, okay. But then listening again and reading the lyrics, going, oh, okay, yeah, this hits. So I sometimes would take a song, let's say, like I said before, praying. I would sometimes take like a verse of that and I would just write it down and I would keep it in my notes and I would just go back to that if I needed it. And there's so many songs where I'm like, how do you know them? Are you listening to me? Like, how did you write my life story? They just describe it exactly how you've been going through things, right? It matters because it reminds you that other people have walked this path of pain, hurt, anger, sadness, trauma. And it reminds you that you're not alone. And I know that sometimes that is the hardest part, is feeling alone. And feeling like no one truly understands the situation you're going through, because no one does. Unless they were there, they lived it with you, no one understands. And even if they did live it with you, everyone has their own perspective and feelings and emotions. Everyone's their own person. Music helped me find the courage to write my own story. I thought every time I was listening to songs, they put out their heart into their songs and their art. And I've heard so many artists say that how therapeutic has been for them to put out a song about a situation that they were going through and how that truly helped them deal with those emotions. So it helped me. Of course, there's certain songs that will trigger bad emotions and memories, but I've also have plenty of songs that remind me how far I've come. I also try now to choose songs that are happier, of course, but I still do listen to sad songs. And when new songs come out, I'm like, oh my gosh, this definitely relates to this situation. But I also try to not tie every song back to my trauma. That was something I've done for so long. And now I'm like, no, I want songs that remind me that I am moving on. I do want to say that you do want to be gentle with yourself about songs that can trigger you. Sometimes songs are tied to very painful memories, and that's okay. You don't have to reclaim that. Some songs could just live in the past. There's plenty of songs that I do not listen to. They stay in the past. I want you to give yourself permission to skip them. Don't force yourself to be okay with something that could hurt you. And here's what music taught me about my own healing: that my feelings are worthy of being expressed, that I'm not alone in this experience, that pain could be transformed into something so beautiful, that there's always another song, another chance, another day to feel something different, and that my story is not over. It's just in a different verse now. Music held me when I felt most alone. It validated me when I doubted myself. It gave me courage when I wanted to give up. It celebrated with me when I had wins. And it's still there, this constant companion, reminding me that I'm human, I'm healing, and I'm exactly where I need to be. So if you're going through something hard right now or dealing with the healing process, I want you to find your songs, the ones that understand you, the ones that make you feel less alone, the ones that remind you why you're doing this hard work, the ones that celebrate you for how far you've come. Let music be a part of your healing. And who knows, maybe one day you'll look back and realize that the songs that got you through the hardest times are just now a reminder of how strong you were, how you've survived, and how you've kept going even and how you've kept going even when you wanted to give up. Thank you for being here with me and sharing this journey with me. Music is one of the many things that helped me write my memoir and helped me start the podcast and helped me become who I am today. And I hope it can do that for you too. I will see you in the next episode. Your healing matters. Your story matters. And you matter. Thank you for listening to Beyond the Red House. If you have a story to share or want to connect, email me at hello@kaylavalterno.com. Visit kaylavalterno.com for my book and resources to support your healing journey. Everything will be in the show notes. Keep building beyond whatever tried to break you. You are stronger than you know. This is Beyond the Red House.